Brandon P. and Jeremy B. The Carolina Connection. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from San Antonio and Waco, Texas, total combined weight 427 pounds. They are the Wildside Tag Team Champions, Todd Sexton and Masada, the Texas Death Club.
A very smart tag team, the Texas Death Club are as well as very, very dangerous. And their dangerous quotient is quite evidence right there. They jump the Carolina Connection with their backs are turned. Frankly, the Carolina Connection should not have turned their backs on the Wildside Tag Team Champions at all. But turnabout, apparently the proverbially fair play here, as the Carolina Connection just sent Masada over that top rope.
Sexton attacked there with a knee to the kidney of Brandon P. But Jeremy V was right there, reversal by Sexton. He ducks his head. There's the VDT right away in this matchup. We could have an upset right away.
And Masada drags his tag team partner underneath the bottom rope. A good defensive posture. Imagine losing the tag team titles within the first minute. Oh my goodness.
So not something that the Texas Death Club would want to ever grace themselves with or disgrace themselves with, depending on how you look at it. These two teams have had quite a rivalry, Steve. We've seen it develop over the weeks from the Texas Death Club, of course, winning the tag team titles from the Carolina Connection at Christmas Chaos 2003. And the Carolina Connection champions there, they have the titles, actually defeated the team of Bulldog Reigns and Tank to win their titles. And now Brandon P in the ring as an armbar here on Masada.
And the key to the success of any tag team in all professional wrestling is the chemistry you have with each other. And both these teams you see before you, Jeremy V and Brandon P, as well as Todd Sexton Masada, the chemistry is intact and is functioning perfectly.
Oh, it is so true. In a singles matchup, you've got 100% accountability for your actions. You are responsible for everything that goes on the side of your team. However, in tag team competition, not exactly the case. You have to rely on a partner. You have to be able to trust that man with your very life. And these two teams here certainly do.
Brandon P trying to knock Todd Sexton off that top turnbuckle. Take that to Masada. And Masada landing on his feet. Boy, that's a good defensive posture there.
Buddy home on the Masada salt there. But he didn't land on his feet. Back elbow. Masada realigning the jaw of Brandon P, but he ducks that. Spinning a leg lariat, springboard leg lariat rather. And a drop kick by Brandon P. Looking tremendous here.
Brandon P with a pin attempt. Masada able to kick on out there. You know, I've been trying desperately over the last couple weeks to get a few words with the new Wildside Tag Team Champions, the Texas Death Club. They're not exactly particularly giving with some kind words or any words at all. Hopefully get an opportunity to find out what's going on in the minds of the Tag Team Champions.
The conversations that I've had with Masada, and believe me, they've been limited. It seems like anything he states is not exactly qualifying for something that would be allowed on the air.
It's a problem we kind of face rather often here at NWA Wildside, isn't it?
It's a dirty, dirty business, Steve.
That it is.
Masada! Oh, good God.
He's a good 220-pound man, jumping feet first onto the top of the neck of Brandon P.
I hope Brandon P has South Carolina's finest chiropractor after that. Northern Lights suplex and a bridge, but not enough to pin Brandon P down for the 3 count.
I think P might need a team of chiropractors at the rate they're going. The technician, Todd Sexton, leveling Brandon P. Fist to the face. And in comes the charming and effervescent Masada.
Irish whip. Double boot to the midsection. Masada comes back. Kick to the side of the head. Sexton with an enziguri. And Brandon P is so loopy, he's about an inch from his tag team partner, but has no clue.
Well, I'll tell you, both Masada and Todd Sexton coming from the Texas Wrestling Academy, being trained by Rudy Boy Gonzalez, and boy, I tell you, the Heartbreak Kid. You end up having some very talented feet, I don't mind telling you. Matter of fact, the head of the Texas Wrestling Academy, Rudy Boy Gonzalez, in action next week here on NWA Wildside. Looking forward to seeing his return.
Brandon P finding 2-on-1 odds there in the corner. But the 2-on-1 odds in the favor, and that's why Todd Sexton cuts him off with a drop kick.
Masada tagging in. But however, Sexton sometimes just hang around as Jeremy V in to break up the pin attempt.
Despite a few offensive flurries, Steve, this matchup has been all Texas Death Club. And they are really laying a hurt on Brandon P. Masada now coming from the second turnbuckle. Goes for a DDT, lost his footing. And Brandon P. capitalized on that.
Take your opportunities as you get them, because with the Texas Death Club, they are rare indeed. Now can Brandon P. just roll a few feet to the tagging hands of Jeremy V. Seems like a short distance, but it's a long distance indeed to Brandon P.
Well, the Texas Death Club are winded from the assault, but Jeremy V is completely fresh. He's had very little involvement in this matchup, and he's in. You can tell, look at the power. It's Jeremy V in here, House of Fire. There's the VKO. The short form on Sexton in the corner.
Jeremy V, a one-man tag team himself. Leveling both members of the Texas Death Club with all sorts of variety of offense. But he still is only one man, and TDC at the moment are just too much.
It's like the Texas Death Club going for a spike pile driver here. Their efforts thwarted by the Carolina Connection. Back body drop on Masada. And now P&V on the second turnbuckle. Double superplex onto Sexton.
And V is making the pin attempt on Sexton, and Sexton managed to kick out, just barely. With the last fiber of strength the technician had, he kicked out of that one.
Brandon P&V with a baseball slide power bomb. It's the aftershock.
Masada disposing of Jeremy V.
And Brandon P ducks that clothesline. He's going for a backslide attempt here.
Masada's having none of it.
Says no. Jeremy V with a leg lariat there. Masada was going for the Masada-mizer. Sexton going for the super kick. No luck on either attempt, and a shoulder tackle from P is successful. And the rock and roll double drop kick. V got more than P.
Just as long as one of them hit, that was his key.
And the Carolina Connection here up on the top. The Carolina combo here, no!
Brandon P missed Todd Sexton rolling out of the way. And Sexton interestingly rolled up towards Jeremy V. V not get anything quite what he wanted. Masada just pulled out Speedy Nelson for a bit of a confab. What the hell? The Urban Assault Squad. What did the Urban Assault Squad have? Obviously, they want to get in the tag team picture here, but I thought their affiliation was with Al Getz. I can't keep up. What's going on here?
The hell are they doing? Good grief.
Todd Sexton has rolled up Brandon P. In comes Speedy Nelson to make the pin attempt. Hey, Sexton's shoulders were down too, for crying out loud. Boy, bad break for the Carolina Connection, but what on earth were the Urban Assault Squad doing out here? I know any tag team in the Wildside Wrestling would love the opportunity of getting held of some tag team gold, but what does the Urban Assault Squad have to do with the Carolina Connection? I thought probably being involved with Murder One and Slim J would be a high priority for them. I thought being involved with Al Getz would be a high priority for them, and now here's this Urban Assault Squad seemingly involved in everybody's business.
Well, and we need to get some medical attention down here for Jeremy V. He looks to have suffered some sort of injury to that knee. Possible ligament damage, hopefully just a sprain and something minor.
Yeah, there's been plenty of damage done to Jeremy V over the years, that's for sure. One of the most injured athletes, yet one of the most brazen and brave athletes to ever walk down the aisle of the NWA arena, where hopefully we'll get an update on Jeremy V next week.